And what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Project Louder Presents Hearts of Darkness final live stream event. I am your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me is the illustrious one, the director of Jason Goes to Hell, Mr. Adam Marcus.
My brother!
Yes. And introducing the director of Hearts of Darkness, the one, the only, Mr. Michael Felsher.
Woo!
And our lovely producer extraordinaire herself, Miss Allie. Mrs. Allie now.
That's right.
Oh, hello.
With a beverage, no less.
Yes.
Always with a beverage.
Hi, Allie.
Hi, Adam. That was a call.
We worked that out earlier, so it's just our Brady Bunch reference.
Um.
Hey, buddy. So this is awesome. TJ,
Yes.
Thank you for doing this, buddy. Thanks for hosting this. This is amazing.
Yes, it's been a long time, and we've promised a lot for this stream, and we're definitely going to deliver a lot, but we'll get to that. We're here to answer all of your questions you may have. I know we've been getting a ton in the group, an absolute ton, and Adam's been getting a ton, Allie's been getting a ton, Michael's getting a ton. So this is the place to air out all that stuff and to answer. We will be fielding questions in the live chat here, folks, so I will be pulling them up screen, and people will answer them respectively. Adam and Allie, you guys can now take over for any announcements that you may have.
Awesome, brother. So, look, this is, first off, I want to just say hi to everybody. We are so thrilled to have you here. I see already a bunch of people in the chat and getting going here, so that's amazing. I feel almost naked because I don't have Allie right here. This is very weird for me. Like, it's just nuts. I'm glad at least that I can turn this way and see her face. Oh, hi, Allie. So we are going to continue doing this Brady Bunch thing the entire stream. So, folks, we promised you a couple weeks ago that we'd be back in a couple weeks. We are back in a couple weeks. I have also been updating the Instagram, the Indiegogo page, as often as I can to give you guys any updates whatsoever and just to keep giving you news. I know the last time we showed you guys the new poster, which is amazing. And again, Michael is here and he'll be able to talk a little bit more about the poster because he was the guy who not only was the inspiration for the poster, who helped design the poster, who found the artist for the poster, who put this whole thing together and never even told me it was happening. Like, it was the most amazing surprise I've ever gotten. But the Mark who designed the poster deserves a lot of shout out. I'm going to let Michael handle some of that today. We want to answer questions today, but we also want to give you guys as many answers as we can. And look, we're calling this the final live stream. Listen, come on, guys. Come on.
It's the final one today.
You know us. So there's no finality, but I will say I love that TJ has always been a man who knows how to brand some shit. Because the final fan page, the final live stream, this man, like he just fucking gets it. I also want to thank TJ tremendously. TJ has not taken enough laps around the block for what he's done on this movie. First off, he's the reason this is happening. Plain and simple. He just is.
So it's your fault.
He harassed me so much into doing this that we ended up doing it. So he is truly the gateway drug to making this documentary. But I got to say more than that. TJ has been an incredible resource for all of our social media stuff that's happened with this movie, in all of the pushing and publicity and helping the campaign happen and all of that stuff. This is really like a great moment for me to be able to say, like, Tej, thanks, brother. And you are a producer on this movie. You and Corey are both producers on this film, and for good reason. You guys worked your asses off. And I just want to know from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you and everything that you've done for this movie so far.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the Hellions that helped make this happen.
Hell yeah. The other thing is, and again, we're gonna get into a lot of stuff throughout the time we're on with you guys. But I also want to say, I feel equally blessed and really excited that Michael Felsher is here today. He is the guy that, and Allie can attest to this. He is the guy that when we switched directions on the film and kind of gave the film a new life, And guys, that was midway through this whole process. So again,
Yeah.
for anybody who understands like why this is taking the time it's taken, and by the way,
Back and forth,
please
back
stop
and
bitching
forth.
about it. Like, stop bitching. Stop. There's real problems in the fucking world. Then everybody's going to get their Blu-ray. So that's happening.
I mean, we did have a plague happen like right at the beginning.
Plague. Our entire industry shut down for almost a year and a half. I mean, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Adam. I think above all of those things, this was the worst thing that ever happened to anybody. Was the delay on this documentary?
You're right.
COVID, war, famine, all that crap, the fires, all of this was way worse than any of that.
The fires. I mean, pitch tosh.
So.
No, and guys, look, here's the thing, and here's where there's a blessing in all of this stuff, because there really are blessings in all of this, folks. This movie took time, and in large part because we needed to switch direction on this thing. We needed to figure out how this movie was really going to be told and what the story was. And I will tell you, Michael coming into this project for me, okay, is the single most significant thing to happen to this film. He pitched me what he wanted to do with this movie, what his vision for the movie was. And this is a true story, and Allie can attest to it. I sobbed. He told me this story that he wanted to tell, and it made me freaking sob. And guys, I'm telling you, when you see the movie, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Like, this movie is not some BTS. This movie it's a real doc, and it's got a soul to it and a warmth to it that it didn't have before Michael showed up, plain and simple. So I want to honor that. And I want to thank Michael, not only for being here today, but also for the remarkable work that you've done on this movie.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
It's how I feel. Michael is, for my money, one of the best documentarians working in the business, and I think that this movie helps to prove that point. I also want to say a special shout out to Eric Beetner.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, who has worked tirelessly on this movie. I mean,
is Eric here?
Eric is not here, but we can definitely,
Not that I can see yet.
Yeah. We can give him a shout out. Tej, I can, if you want, I can share the link with him and have him jump on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Eric really, I mean, he's, I came in to do kind of an overall directional shift, kind of, look at this thing as sort of, well, where do we want this thing to go? What's the focus and so forth? Mm-hmm. And then Eric's the one who actually had to go in and do the work.
Yeah.
Eric's the guy who had to sift through the hours and hours and hours of footage that there were.
Hundreds.
And that was just Adam's interview, which I think stretched out for, I think Adam's interview was like 9 hours or something.
Yes.
It was just insane. And it was just like, and my attitude was like, well, we kind of have to make this about Adam because there's just too much. So, it was just, and Eric's the one who had to, it's like when a sculptor starts with a big piece of marble, you have to kind of hone it and figure out what's the shape of this thing and how do you, how do you hone it down to what's really necessary to make the thing work. And I give him so much credit for how this thing has turned out, because he had very good instincts, and he really understood what I wanted out of the piece and just was able to go. And he was such an experienced and capable editor that you didn't need to handhold him on this. He got what we were going for, and he was off to the races. So a huge amount of credit to Eric Beetner.
Big time.
Yeah.
I just invited him, by the way, so we'll see if he's able to show up. But no, I couldn't agree more. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, Eric has been my best friend since he was 14 and I was 15.
So
it really is. He was one of the founding members of Skeleton Crew, which I created when I was 16 years old. That's not a joke.
Which, by the way, is still less than a decade from when you actually shot this movie, which still blows my mind at how young you were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. It's funny because when I was talking to somebody today about that very thing, and I was like, look, I got to LA and I sold my first movie to Disney at 21, and then I sold the movie to New Line when I was 22. I was like, fuck, I was 22? I go what? Even I think it's fucking ridiculous, but
You're not even fully formed as a human being at 22.
Dude, I'm not fully formed as a human being now.
No. Lord knows I'm not. I'm still waiting for the part where I feel like an actual adult. I'm 51 and I still feel like, when does this adult shit kick in? You know, I don't know.
So here's the thing. So Eric and I have been friends since then. And what's remarkable is that our lives went on divergent paths, right? Eric was involved with Jason Goes to Hell. And that's going to come up. It comes up. By the way, it's not in the doc. That's in the extra features that'll be featured on the Blu-ray. So that's a whole extra thing. But there's a whole story about Eric on this doc, which I'm not going to give away here. But about 15 years ago, we both ended up at a party down in Hermosa Beach. And I didn't even know Eric was in LA. I didn't even know he was here. And I had no idea he was cutting, Fear Factor every episode of the show. And he was already cutting Amazing Race. And I was like, you're doing all that's amazing, dude. I said, where are you living? He said, oh, this little town, up the coast. I said, where? He said, a little place called El Segundo. I was like, you're kidding me now, right? He's like, no, why? I'm like, I live in El Segundo, you idiot. So it was amazing simply in the fact that this guy and I, we are still that close. He lives less than a mile from my house. I pass his house every day. So this became in its own way a family affair, not just in the people who started in this thing, including Kip Marcus, my brother, who's in the movie and of course is also in the doc. All of the people that came with me, including Adam Cranner, who was a childhood friend of mine since we were 8 years old. The other part of this is that I did not realize what a family the rest of the people who made Jason Goes to Hell really were for me. And some of them I hadn't seen in 25, 28 years. And when we got back together to do this movie, it was literally like not a day had passed. Here's what's also extraordinary. So there's the second family, right? So the first family that started all the way back, then the second family, and then the family that ended up being created on this movie. And I have to tell you, the people that I'm working with right now, I plan on working with the rest of my fucking life. That's just the truth. And that tells you, that tells you the kind of souls that actually jumped in to do this thing. So, by the way, to that end, listen, for those of you that are on here, and I've already, someone said they left their wallet in El Segundo. Oh yeah, damn right. The whole damn enchilada podcast said that. Guys, look, when I said the thing earlier about complaining about the movie, look, I've taken the apology tour on that, and I'll own it. Okay, got it. At this point, look, you've got a team of extraordinary people working their asses off to get this thing in your hands. Give us a break. Like, be kind. You have a question, I'll always answer it. And everybody knows that. Like, anybody who's come at me, even angry, I've come back to you with kindness and respect and tried to talk to you and work out what's going on. But folks, from this point forward, can we just look, this thing was made out of love, and it's made out of love for you guys as well. So let's just keep it in that place. Like, let's just be freaking cool with each other. Okay. Because we're going to deliver you a great movie. And, oh, by the way, there's another thing that came up this week, and TJ and I were just talking about this. Guys, there are people who are like, wait a minute, it's going to theaters? I thought it was just going to Blu-ray. I bought a Blu-ray. And I'm like, wait, hang on.
One does not preclude the other.
And don't you want a movie that's a movie? Like an actual movie? We're not doing a direct. This isn't Crystal Lake. This isn't Crystal Lake Memories, guys.
Bingo.
This is
maybe
his name was Jason.
Well, maybe we can send that guy his Blu-ray first, and then we can go do the theatrical screenings, because far be it from us to make him feel bad about his purchase.
It's heartbreaking because look, guys, and by the way, I understand the frustration of wanting to see the movie. Shit, I want you to see the movie. But give us a moment to make this thing freaking cool. Like, we want to get out there and let people see it in a theater. By the way, that's including you guys. I want you to have a theater experience with this movie, and I want the executive producers to come to premieres and do all that fun, cool shit. So, by the way, anyone who didn't get it, it's in your perks that we're going to theaters. It was from the very beginning we said that. Michael, you had a thought. I'm sorry, brother.
No. It's just that look, I've done Indiegogo things before, both as an actual, producer and as someone who helps fund these things. And sometimes, sometimes they take forever. Sometimes they never materialize. So I understand people being gun shy about this stuff. I totally get it.
Yeah.
And there are times where you're just like, God, this has been going on for a while. What's going on? But there's always been, at least from what I've seen, because I was a funder of this thing before I ever jumped on as director. I actually have the poster,
which is so cool, by the way. It is such a cool backstory.
And then I got the poster that Adam's got behind him. It's in my drawer over here that I got sent as a funder for the documentary. So I was always aware of what was going on, and they would update periodically when they had something to say. And it was clear that this was just taking a while, and there were a whole bunch of other issues that came up that were beyond anyone's control. And then, but I'll say this: yes, it's taken a lot longer, but that allowed for some really wonderful things to come to light that would not have happened if we rushed it.
Yep.
Sometimes documentaries take, like, there's a documentary I've been working on right now that's a follow-up to one of the documentaries I did when I was early in my career. I started shooting it in 2015. 3 of the people I've interviewed already are dead. So it's like, it just, sometimes these things just drag on beyond your control, and there's reasons for it. But this allowed for us to get, footage from all these different screenings of the movie that happened, some footage that Robert Kurtzman had turned up that Adam didn't even know about. Yeah. That's in the, so cool. That was a lifesaver. I mean, you can ask Eric about that in terms of the edit. And it's just the really candid, wonderful stuff to see Adam, who I swear, because it's a great story in the doc about him having to shave his beard for the film. He went from looking like someone in his 20s to someone who looked like he just got out of junior high school. And he's wandering around the set trying to direct. It's like, look at it. You almost want to go up to him and like tousle his hair. It's like, look at the little guy directing. He's so cute. Look at that. I mean, he's just like, wow. I mean, that was what an incredible. And I think people are really going to get just such a wonderful example of just the heedless optimism and creative process that goes into a film, and all the roadblocks and all the things that can happen that could completely derail you from ever wanting to do this again. And yet somehow at the end of this, Adam has gone on to direct multiple films after that. He's still making movies. He's still in it. And that was part of the pitch I made to him, sort of when I talked to him, because it's like when I watched the footage, or as much of it as I could before I actually had the meeting with him, because I got recommended to him through Peter Bracke, who's the writer on the documentary and also wrote Crystal Lake Memories, and is a good friend of mine. I play video games with him every night. In fact, at the time we were playing Friday the 13th, the game, and he recommended me to Adam, and then I just had a time to kind of breeze through whatever footage I could. And it was clear to me that it's like, this is really the story of Adam Marcus. Jason Goes to Hell is part of that and a vessel to tell this story through. But this is the story of a filmmaker who was all about, oh my God, I get to make a movie. Oh shit, this is what you have to go through to make a movie? And yet people just gravitate, and it was always so inspiring to see how everyone really gravitated towards him. There's so many examples, and you're going to see it in the doc, of people who signed on to do this movie who normally might not have ever done a Friday the 13th movie, but it was because of him. They just was like, his enthusiasm and his desire and his plans for this are too interesting. I want to be a part of this. And that's always inspiring and interesting. And I think hopefully that's what really comes through in the documentary. So for me, that was the appeal, because this is the first time I've ever come into a project that I didn't self-generate or was mine from the very beginning. So this was sort of an awkward thing where I come in and so much footage has already been done, but it was very interesting to figure out a way to say, well, what is the footage actually telling me? And leaving any preconceptions I might have had to the side and just going by what was there. And what I saw there was really wonderful. And then I got to meet Allie and Adam and Deborah and Eric and all these people. And it was just like, shit, how did I not meet and work with these people before now? This is ridiculous. It's just been, so it's been for me, I know I've been rambling here and I apologize, but it's been a really fun and educational and very different process for me, which I appreciate. You can get into a rut sometimes with your work, and it's always nice when something comes along and kind of put you on an uncharted path. And I'm just glad I had some really good people to walk with on that path on this, because it would have sucked if I'd been like, that Adam Marcus sucks, man. I don't want to fucking deal with this guy again. But no, it's been a lot of fun. And I'll talk about the poster in a minute. I want to give you guys a chance to talk about some stuff here. So
I also look, it's funny.
Really quick,
Go ahead, Allie. You were saying? No.
Expand on that. You've been giving out all the love, Adam, and I just want to say that, like, it's truly life imitating art, imitating life, or vice versa. You get what I'm saying, because Adam is one of the most kind, sweet, creative. Oh my gosh, you're like this unbelievable well of creativity that, I mean, and I've been doing in this business for so many years in so many different capacities. You are probably one of the most creative human beings, just always like coming out of your fingertips. And you share that, and you spread that, and you inspire that. And I think like one of the things that made this whole experience work so well is that, you know, all of the fans and everybody who's been involved and the people that have helped to produce this, and we all hear from you. You have an unlimited energy that you are able to speak to. It's
really annoying, to be honest with you, the amount of energy.
It is. It's kind of annoying because I have no idea how you do it. Like, you don't, I mean, like, you're not like a big coffee drinker. You're not like a big
Energizer bunny.
Oh God. If Adam was a big coffee drinker, he would phase out of this reality.
I know. I don't think you're allowed to have.
I would become Martin Scorsese. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, not too much of a problem. Anyway, you're just so amazing, and I think it's just a true testament to you that everybody then came back on to do the interviews and to be a part of it, because it was so unique and fun and awesome to be working with you in the first place. And then, you know, everything that Michael said, just in general, like it made so much sense, the direction that you took, Michael, because it's a driving force.
It was right there in his interview. I mean, his interview just was like, if this isn't the backbone of the story, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, it's like, because at the end of the day, the making of a movie, in and of itself, it tends to be kind of someone comes up with an idea, they put it together, they cast it, they make it, goes well, doesn't go well, comes out, doesn't turn out well. I mean, there's a certain boilerplate aspect to that story. What really makes it special are the people and the ambitions and the desires and the things that are playing out on the stage, essentially, as you're making that movie. And right off the bat, after watching, I think, the first 6 hours of Adam's interview, it was like, oh yeah, this it's his story. Jason Goes to Hell is just a vessel to tell this stuff through. That's it. And because that's why I love that documentary, Never Sleep Again, the story of the Elm Street movies. It's like, yeah, it's about the making of some horror movies, but those guys were so brilliant. They also recognize that it's the rise and fall of a studio. Mm-hmm. It's the tracking the course of the horror movie over the 1980s. Yeah. It wasn't just about making movies, because making movies is just a path for creative people to try to make something that other people will go, hey, wow, that was really cool. And Adam is one of the biggest why not people I've ever met. You'll meet all sorts of people in your life, and you'll come up with an idea or suggestion or something, and a lot of people just go, why would you want to, why? You say something like that to Adam, and you go, why not? Give it a shot. See, that's a good idea. Or it'll spur him on to think of something else. It's like a tennis match back and forth. And it's just, I like having why not people in my life. So that's really great.
I love that, man. I've never heard that before. That's kind of beautiful. That's amazing. And thank you. I mean, really, thank you. But it's an amazing concept. The why not is really good, because I've never articulated anything like that about myself, but you're right. It's like, I don't understand shutting down creativity or ideas, any idea, even if it's a bad idea, like, okay, let's talk about it. So I'm yeah.
Yeah, because you never know where it's going to lead. You never know.
No, you don't.
Because that's the thing. If you shut yourself off to, I mean, it's one thing if you have a vision, this is going to work and you want it to do that. Right. That's fine.
Right.
But if it's a situation where someone throws something at you and you're like, I hadn't considered that. Mm-hmm. Just take the time to consider it,
My favorite note when I'm working with other writers who are writing for Skeleton Crew, when I'm working with them, if there's something I don't like in a movie or something doesn't work, first off, I never give a writer a note without some idea of a solution. It could be the wrong solution, but something. And what I'll say to writers is I'll say, okay, so bad version of the right idea is this. So what it does is it tells the writer, you're not married to the thing I'm giving. I'm not giving you a solution that's the rock solid solution. I'm just saying, here's a thought to go in a direction. And that thought could be terrible, but you're right. It spurs on the next idea. And
like you did with my comic book.
100%, dude.
Yes.
100%. Yeah. Which, by the way, everybody's going to want to read TJ's comic book. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. So, by the way, did Eric join us?
He's not in here yet.
Huh. Okay.
Did you send the new link that I shared in the private chat?
No.
Okay.
I will get that for him. So hang on. Sorry, brother.
I also sent it to your Facebook Messenger.
Got it. Okay. Well, I got it right here. Okay, good. I'm going to send it to him.
You know, in terms of notes with Adam, because I've gotten a few on this project. In fact, I got a few recently on the trailer. The thing that I found really the most annoying about his notes was that he was right. And I really
that's true.
Because I was really it was a final note session on the trailer, and he called me, and I was having a really shitty day. I was barely awake, and he's like, "Well, there's this, and there's this, and there's this," and I'm like, yeah, okay, click. And then I'm just sitting there, and after he's off the phone, I'm just like, well, I kind of have to do it because those are all good points. Motherfucker! Ah, damn it! And so I went in there and I made all the changes. It's like, this is what I get for working with someone who has good fucking ideas and son of a bitch. And it made every note he suggested led to me coming up with other ideas, which made the trailer better. So it was just like, at the end, I sent him the final trailer and said, well, this is what you get for being right. You know. I don't get but see, I'll take that any day of the week over notes like, well, the guy in the shop's wearing a hat. It feels like the thing's all about the hat. What can we do about the hat? I don't know. What am I, Harry Potter? I can just wish the fucking hat away?
You literally just described every studio meeting I've ever had in my life.
Oh, the worst note I ever heard about. The worst note I ever heard about was a composer who told me that he was in a scoring session with the director, and one of the producers walked in and was listening to a particular cue, and he went, "Oh, man, I don't know. I feel like you're giving me a Wednesday, but I really want a Thursday."
Oh my god.
And this director, who apparently was a very calm and even-keeled guy, turned around and went, I don't know what the fuck that means. Get the fuck out of here. And he literally threw the guy out, and he said he was never allowed back in the scoring. It's like, how do you respond to shit like that? I mean, you just don't, there's no. So I appreciate, even though I was probably a little grumpy about it, I will always appreciate notes that make sense. That's you know, even if it means more work for me, but that's fine. That's fine.
But I also have to say this. Okay, so Michael will get notes like this, but he's right. All of that is true. But here's what happens. So I could tell he was in a crappy mood the day that I gave him notes. I could totally tell.
Obvious it was, because normally I'm not just like right.
And literally, I went like this. It was like, okay, well, here's the notes. I gotta go. I just dropped him and ran. But what happens with Michael, and he did this with the poster too, he gets giddy like a kid who just woke up on Christmas morning to like open up the present and show you the present. Because when Michael wants to show me something, I get this. Hey, listen, get back to me like the minute you get this. I mean, seriously, the second you get this, like, why aren't you already responding to me now?
Yeah, it's like, where are you, motherfucker?
I was literally in Ecuador when he called me about
for the poster.
Poster. Yeah. I didn't know he was even doing a poster. And he's like, hey, you got time for a Zoom? And I was like, well, I'm about to go out to dinner with my family. And he's like, well, I said, can I do it on Facebook? He's like, no, Zoom would be much better for this. You gotta be on Zoom.
I could tell that you were just like, I gotta go.
And I literally told my family, I'm like, everybody wait. I know we got a reservation. Wait, hang on. And I get on Zoom with him and he's like, well, I don't know if you're going to like this. And if you don't like it, you forget about it. But I just wanted you to see this. And he brings up the poster and I'm telling you, I lost my shit. Like, I was so fucking excited. But again, he acts like I got something, you got to see it right now. It's amazing. It's amazing. And he did the exact same thing with the trailer just a couple days ago, which, by the way, everybody's going to see that in a few minutes. We're going to be showing the trailer, and it's amazing. So get ready for that. But it's amazing because, look, Eric Beetner did a couple of cuts of a trailer. Mm-hmm. Michael came in, did a couple of cuts of a trailer. Then I came in and said, it's really good.
But you could hear here comes the butt.
Just a little zhuzh. And I'm telling you, what came back a couple of days later was there's a feeling that you get when you go, oh, that's it, it's done. And when I got the trailer, that was my response. I was like, no, that's it. You got it. Like that's our trailer. That's the movie. Like that's what we got to put out there. So I know when it hits me, I know when the excitement hits me of like, we nailed it. I know we're good to go. And honestly, that just comes from people who are actually diligent and want to do the work. And by the way, it goes back to the thing I've said a couple times in this podcast already. This is the stuff that if you haven't made movies, and by the way, if you have, you should understand what I'm talking about. But if you haven't made movies, this is the process that ends up making something good. Mm-hmm. When you rush things for a date, they are rarely, if ever, good.
No.
And by the way, look at any documentary that talks about movies that like failed, that didn't work, that were a disaster. They were always shooting for a date.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's disastrous.
Or some arbitrary deadline. Well, I want it done by November or some shit. Like that's I mean, at some point you want to be done. You definitely want to be done. But you know when you've gotten there. You know when, okay, now we're in the home stretch. Now it's just a matter of putting a little frosting on the thing and making it. And we reached that point with Jason. There was a couple points where I was like, no, we're not quite there with the doc yet. And then there was a cut that Eric turned in where he had made a couple of adjustments to the end of it, which was one thing that we were all kind of debating. And it was just like, oh, there it is. Okay. And it was just like, okay, we're good. But it was, I don't mind. I hope you don't mind if I just mention the poster again a little bit.
Please, no. Please talk about the poster. Please. There it is.
This was such a funny thing to me because we had the existing poster, obviously, with the chrome mask and which is very cool key art. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But when we were doing the documentary, obviously, I felt like, well, I want the poster. If we do another poster, I want there to be one that reflects sort of the spirit of the doc itself and what it's about. And I had this idea about a year and a half ago. It was an image that came to my head. I'm not an artist. I cannot draw. I mean, my stick figures look like they came out of Chernobyl. It's bad. It's just not good. And I had this idea in my head. I said, well, wouldn't it be cool if we had Adam as a young man from the film, literally being pulled into hell instead of Jason. Mm-hmm. And you have like some of the bric-a-brac of the studios set around him. He's holding the clapboard. It was just this thing in my head. I was like, oh, well, I went through there were a couple artists like I thought about, but they were busy. And some artists are not good doing freehand stuff. They can only kind of go off of existing, photos and stuff like that. And this was going to be really a freehand painting, something that had to be kind of considered from scratch. And I had worked with this artist, Mark Schoenbach, before on a couple of covers for the Vestron line for Lionsgate. And I went to Mark and I told him my basic idea, and I sent him sort of a rough collage of images that would help evoke this idea. And I described it to him. So this is what I wanted to do. He came back with a black and white. He was working on it. He came back. So how about Adam's like actually in hell and he's being pulled down further. And so it looks like hell around. It's like, great idea. He comes back with a black and white of the poster that's out now. And I just looked at it and went, did you crawl inside my brain and yank this fucking thing out? I was just like, I have no. I was like, put some more movie studio stuff in the background, but other than that, you're fucking done. And then he sent me the poster, and I think it was literally a half an hour after he sent me the final poster that I was on the phone with Adam saying, you know, I know you got to go with your family, but you get on Zoom, you got to see this shit. And I'm very, very, again, so yeah, the idea and the concept might have been mine, but Mark's the one who actually made it work. So
and he's remarkable. I mean, it's amazing how many people, when they saw the poster, I hadn't said his name yet, and people immediately said, "Is that him?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah."
Yeah.
So I mean, he's got such a style that everybody got it immediately, and he is remarkable. He's a remarkable artist. He really is.
Oh, shit, Eric's here. I mean, hey, Eric, how's it going? Hey,
hello.
Hey, the unsung hero of Hearts of Darkness. Believe me,
we've actually been waxing rhapsodic about you. So
we have, yes.
You can go back and watch the rest of this, and we'll prove that it's.
Yeah, we've been filleting you nonstop through this whole thing. Right. It really has been quite amazing.
At least somebody is these days.
Hi-yo.
I hit the tone, right? That's the tone of these things.
That's absolutely the tone. You're right in the pocket, my brother.
Yeah. No. This is a very PG. This is a PG room. This is really.
By the way, I think Deb's camera somehow is shitting the bed. So
it is.
I know that she's trying to jump on as well. So
there she is.
There she is. Hi, baby.
Hello.
I love technology.
I think we've completed the Brady Bunch thing now.
We really have. We really have. Hey, Eric. Allie. If we had really worked this out, we could have actually been like handing each other like posters.
Yeah. Well, that would have been great.
I
could have mailed everybody the same mug, and we could have just passed it between.
Yes, that would have been genius.
Anyway.
But for anybody who's just joining us, or those of you who have been here, joining us is Eric Beatner, who I waxed rhapsodic about earlier. My best friend most of my life, who truly is the person who toiled to assemble this movie into something that looked like a movie.
Yes.
And the amount of work that Eric has put into this thing is Herculean. Truly, and it just did a remarkable job. And the trailer that you're going to be seeing in a few minutes is the work product of Eric, and then Michael joining in, and then my ridiculous notes. And we ended up.
No, they weren't ridiculous notes. They were right notes, which really pissed me off.
I know. Eric gets just as mad about it as well. So,
well, but that's why Michael had to do it, because I reached a point where you
he was like, okay.
I ran through the money. You weren't paying me to do more notes on a trailer.
Because I had to ask. That's true. I had to ask Eric for a few things. He's like, "That's fucking trailer." No, I don't have it anymore. I won't do it anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore.
For a year.
He literally didn't have the drive anymore. The drive was with the colorist. He doesn't have it.
No.
Which, by the way, is like this big.
Oh, it's insane.
Oh,
no, it's insane.
The day that left my house was one of the happiest days. It's like getting married to my wife, bringing my children home, and then that drive leaving my desk.
Well, I had a copy of all the contents of that drive for a while, and I was glad when I left. Mine left too, because it was like my head hurt just looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, motherfuckers. Not only do I have 2 copies of that nonsense in my house, but I also have a fucking house that looks like a goddamn warehouse, because I've got boxes of T-shirts and pins and posters and crap everywhere in my home for this movie. Oh, I have a drive. My hard drive is so tough on you, sons of.
Says the guy that says, TJ, come up with as many perks as you can.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, boo frickety who, motherfucker. I got shit in my house too, you know. I don't know what kind of a counter argument that is, really, but I don't know.
I'm joining my man down.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
That's okay.
All right.
Several conversations all at the same time. They were all very interesting. It's like crazy. I'm like, 2 seconds.
Well, I'm excited actually for people to see the extras that we've put together, and I was reminded of that because seeing this these boxes here, one of my favorites was Adam and Deb both were kind enough to sit down with me for a conversation in front of a class of Adam's acting students. And we just had a ton of fun, and it was sort of a walk down memory lane, and our unique experience with this film, with Jason Goes to Hell, not the documentary, going all the way back to Jason Goes to Hell, and my near miss of working on this film, which was going to be my immediately post college first job in the business. And when I say immediately, like I graduated college, and 2 weeks later I was on a plane to LA, and Adam picked me up at the airport in a convertible. He was living in Venice. I was like, we're living the dream. Cut to, oh, by the way, Bob Shea pulled funding, and we're shut down. And I was like, wait, what?
So, literally, we got shut down as you were flying here. Yeah. Literally, while you were in the air is when that happened.
And that luck in this industry has carried with me for the past 40 years.
Welcome to Hollywood.
You're killing me here.
Oh my God, so good.
It happens when you're not even there.
But by the way, I was just talking about that extra on the disc, Eric, earlier in the podcast, because it's like, it was such a special thing for me to sit across. By the way, Eric is always trying to get me to cry. So that was his purpose with that whole interview. Like, he was really, and he was disappointed when I just got a tear in my eye, but I didn't go full waterworks. I know I broke his heart over that. But I got to tell you, like, when I rewatched that, it is one of those things that kind of melts my heart a little bit. And you put some of our first movie in there, right? Like our first videos in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was the one of the most fun, is that we talked about some of the, it's easy to say like, oh, in high school we used to run around a grocery store with a video camera and make little movies. For whatever reason, I still have some of that stuff. So you'll get to see little clips of 16, 17-year-old Adam and Eric literally guerrilla filmmaking in a grocery store.
and by the way, there's one point when I'm doing a cameo while Eric is pushing this grocery cart that ends up turning on him and becoming sentient.
Yeah, it's a horror film.
There's literally a shot of me, and I'm stealing food from one of those like open bins where you can put food into bags and you weigh it. So I'm literally eating food out of it. And as Eric is passing me, and you can hear it, you hear him go, "Yeah, very Hitchcock, Adam, very Hitchcock," as he walks past me. I'm like, motherfucker.
I'm so professional.
Well, my favorite part was, besides Adam almost crying, which was so sweet, was I got to give you shit, which is one of my favorite things.
You mean me?
You.
Well, that's...
But I know Eric, too. I love to give Eric shit, too.
Well, true. You give everybody shit, but I'm your favorite target.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a room, guys. Jeez, come on.
We have
a room.
Yeah. Oh, right.
You have no idea what's been done on this table, my friend. Okay, so listen, here's a break.
Damn.
Listen, you got to take breaks from packing up fucking perks to send out, okay?
Oh, God. Someone break out the violins for this guy. God, yeah.
So here's the deal. So I want to take a moment, and I want to give everybody a moment to, I want everybody to see the trailer. So TJ, if we can show everybody the trailer. This is the world premiere of the Red Band trailer for Hearts of Darkness, the making of the final Friday. I want the fans to have a moment with this, and then we can talk about it afterwards, and then give more of the updates that we've got coming up on the show.
Okay. 3,
awesome.
2,
I love it, buddy.
Here we go, folks.
Hey, camera marker.
Yay, we're making a movie, and it's a Friday 13th movie, and Jason Voorhees. This is freaking awesome.
Here we go.
Anna Marcus, get on out here.
I was 23 when I made this movie. Why the fuck would anyone let a 23-year-old direct a franchise movie, right?
He was a child. He was a baby. He was like Damn good director, knew his business.
Adam had just this great energy about him.
It was a tight schedule and tight budget.
We shot 1,000 setups in 30 days.
Blood everywhere.
Please! Okay. Was fucking gorgeous. Okay.
My favorite kill in the movie is the split body.
Look, if you're gonna die, go big or go home. Dying while having an orgasm, and as an actor, I was like, that's like a steak dinner.
That's some crazy shit. I knew we would get one shit in there.
Oh, you got blood all over you.
That makes me think of a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog to a donut.
What does this line mean? What the hell am I saying? To this day, I have no fucking clue.
And action!
It wasn't even a discussion. It was, Kane Hodder's gonna do the movie. Well, yeah, he is Jason. The guy has kill tattooed on the inside of his lip.
There it is.
That's Kane.
People probably roll their eyes and stuff, but I honestly feel like I was born to play Jason. Now get out of the shot before I fucking kill you.
Action!
When I saw the bust of me in the makeup trailer, I was a little weirded out.
I've got a black tongue going out of my mouth 6 feet.
Everybody's on set going, yeah, that's a penis, you know?
That's shocking.
The initial reaction was not great.
It was not loved.
It was the worst garbage in the world.
I was actually disappointed.
I've had 3 people wish me ass cancer. Wow, man, why is it always about my ass?
Whether the fans liked it or not, here we are, all these years later, still talking about it.
If you don't like it, you can go to hell.
This isn't the movie for nuance. You know?
Cut.
Yeah, that's so good. So good.
You guys killed it.
So good.
Yeah, it was a good
So good.
trailer when I got to it. I mean, I just kind of finessed it a little bit. That's all I did. But it was again, it sells the playfulness of the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
it really sells the heart because again, this isn't just the story of Jason Goes to Hell. You know, this isn't. There's so much more going on here, and Jason Goes to Hell is just. It's sort of the window dressing that helps you tell it's always fun when you can throw some blood around and have Jason Voorhees to help tell the story of a guy making his first movie. It's certainly visually a lot more interesting, and there's some really great on-set stories. I do feel bad after this documentary comes out. Robert Kurtzman's going to get a lot of people coming up to him and say, "Hey, what's the name of the Evil Dead Book of the Dead? How do you pronounce that?"
It is so fucking hilarious. It's actually my favorite joke of the entire movie, and it was not supposed to be a joke.
Oh,
it's amazing.
It's a little. I haven't told you this, Adam. I interviewed, as many of you probably know, there's a 4K of Jason Goes to Hell coming out, and I ended up doing extras for that because, of course. And I was talking with Adam, and he's seen everything that we did for it because I didn't want it to. I went to him before I actually took the job because I was like, I don't want to take anything away from the doc, so we kind of worked out just to make sure that they kind of dovetailed together rather nicely. But Bob Kurtzman's one of the people that we did a featurette on, so I went to Ohio to interview him, and he's always been made time for me over the years on like at least 20 different interviews I've done with him over the years. And the Necronomicon came up, and he had a little trouble again, and it was just like I couldn't help but laugh. It's like, okay, well, there you go.
It's amazing.
So, yeah.
It's amazing. It's like it is. I don't know if you've ever seen Benedict Cumberbatch did a documentary about penguins, and he can't say the word penguin. Can't say it. He says
penguins.
Penguin. He can't do it.
Penguins.
And he did an entire documentary where he keeps mispronouncing penguins. So this Necronomicon is Bob Kurtzman's Penguins.
There's a
it
sentence
really is
never
that
before said in the entirety of the history of humanity. That's
and you're welcome.
And you're welcome.
By the way, I'm seeing like people's responses to just on Facebook, some of the responses to the trailer, and it's
wonderful, isn't
awesome. No, it's
I'll
really
put them
cool.
up on screen
It's really
here.
cool. Yeah. We can't use the shot with Angry Pickle. Yes, that's true. No, it is really exciting, guys. Like this is look, each step of this process, when we get it right, it's so exciting. But I have to say, even just as Eric and Michael were shaping the movie, we would get material, and constantly I was like, oh my God, it's so good, guys. Like you're making something so interesting and so not what the other documentaries about horror are like. Like this is different. And that's what's great, guys. Like you're not going to get a cookie cutter knockoff kind of thing. This is a really cool way to tell a story. You guys just fucking killed it.
Look at that
You killed it.
reaction.
You did.
Look at the reaction in the comments. It's just nothing.
I know, it's great.
I know.
It's crazy. It's just awesome. Like it's really nice. It's really fucking cool. And again, guys, like, yeah, the trailer is. Imagine how good the fucking movie is.
It's all fun stuff like that. And a big shout out to the gentleman who did our graphics for the doc.
Oh,
because
Declan Boyle.
They really came in handy with the trailer, because that was one of the suggestions, the right suggestions
He
that
did the
Adam
intro
made.
as well, right?
Yeah, because he said, hey, is there a way you could put some of the titles into them? Because I want to kind of establish that. And I'm like, I don't know if there's a way to do that. They hung up on him, hung up on him, and then like 10 minutes later, well, there's a way to do that.
By the way, do you want to know the craziest thing? So Deb and I are going to be leaving town in a couple weeks because we're on the lam. But no, we're
don't tell anybody.
I know. It's like
we're leaving with all our Hearts of Darkness cash. So we're heading to Glasgow for the premiere, for the world premiere of the movie on March 8th at Glasgow Fright Fest. And the only other person who worked on this film that's going to be there is Declan Boyle.
That's good.
He's flying in from Ireland. He's so excited.
That's great.
And by the way, he and I have never met in person before. We've done Zoom for forever, but we've never met in person. So I'm so excited. I was like, come out. I will buy you a drink. Let's go see the movie together. So it's just awesome.
His
awesome
graphics,
that he's going to get to see people react.
His graphics really got the spirit of the whole thing.
Yeah,
and they're just really clever and
He's
fun.
amazing.
And I just it was when Adam we were working on the titles for a while, and then he heard about this. I think we went through a couple other people, and things weren't quite working. And then he found out about Declan, and then I was like, okay. And then I saw what he did. I went, well, yeah, of course, him. It was just like
that intro is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yep. By the way, Declan, here's what's crazy about Declan. And by the way, this goes to talk about sort of the fandom around this movie and the people who have supported the movie, including everybody who bought a Blu-ray and got this movie made. Declan was an early supporter of the movie. He sent money. He's a guy who contributed just like Michael did before Michael was the director of this movie. Declan had not only supported the movie, but then about a year in, he sent me a opening credit sequence. Just sent it, just a sequence he made.
So cool.
And it was amazing. And I was like, this is extraordinary. But when we cut the movie together, it was like, it wasn't the right tone. Like, this isn't going to work. So I went back to Declan. I said, hey, listen, the tone isn't working, blah, blah. He said, oh, I'll do a different one. Okay, no problem. He sends a second one. It was also amazing, but not the right tone. And I said, Deck, listen, if you really want to do this, if you want to work with us and make this happen, I said, look, let's get on Zoom. Let me send you some graphics. Let me send you some stuff, just some examples of stuff that I think would be the right tone according to what Michael is trying to do with the movie, like to really get in the pocket. So he and I got on Zoom together, and I'm telling you, like, we spent hours just like talking about titles and by the way, early in my career and in Eric's career, we worked at one of the biggest title houses on planet Earth, which was R. Greenberg and Associates. So that's kind of where Eric and I started. That was one of our first professional jobs. So I have a language in that. What's incredible is that. So I said to Deck, I gave him a bunch of things, and I said, look, let me send you some videos, and these are just ideas. These are just things. And I sent him a bunch of videos of different title sequences, and I ended with Catch Me If You Can. Catch Me If You Can is one of those complicated, remarkable, beautiful pieces of animated titles ever done in the history of film. Declan gets back on Zoom with me and goes, yeah, the one I'm really interested in is the Catch Me If You Can one. I was like, no, Deck, I wasn't telling you to do that. I was just saying, like, this is kind of, he said, no, that's the one that's most interesting to me. I was like, okay. I said, I guess I'll see you in 8 months. Yeah. Guys, 10 days later, he delivered the titles. And by the way, there was no pay for this. He did this because he wanted to do it because out of the love. By the way, also, so that everybody understands, like, the level of professionalism in this group, this isn't a guy who does this for a fucking hobby. This guy did half of the digital effects in Evil Dead Rises. And stuff that I swore was practical effects was not. It was Declan. So this guy is a bad mamma jamma. Holy goodness. And he is already part of Skeleton Crew, and he is the guy I am using from this point forward. Like, he's brilliant. So yeah, this doc has created a family of artists that are people that I'm like, yeah, I don't have to go anywhere else. Like, these are the people I want to work with. So
Adam, you skipped over when we worked at R. Greenberg. You skipped right over the fact that we lived together in an apartment that was about the size of my desk and that only had one bed. Did you want to get deeper into that,
Eric,
or should we just move on?
You promised never to bring that up again, Eric.
Well, that's going to be a featurette on the Blu-ray too, right?
Yeah, the nightmare.
You guys, one bed.
No.
Where we both look like raccoons.
Hearts of darkness.
Bright eyes.
So we'll be sitting there going, "Oh, they're spooning."
Hey guys.
Pretty much. By the way,
sorry, I have to go. I have a student that got here a little early, so I'm so sorry. I met this.
Right.
We love you.
Thanks, Allie.
Love you, Allie.
By the way, wait, before you go, wait. You're not allowed to go yet. Hang on. Listen, I was saving it, but guys, look, I've spoken about the team that has been here. What I haven't spoken about is two of my producing partners are in this room right now, and that is my extraordinary partner and life partner and
me.
The love of my life, Deborah, and also Allie, who we met because of this movie. This is how this happened. And I have to tell you something. You are the sister I always wanted. You are an incredible professional. You've done an unbelievable job with this movie. And again, this is a person and that is a person has not made $1 from this movie. Yep. Not a cent. Did this movie because we all wanted to create something and make something together. And it is extraordinary, the work ethic, and it is extraordinary, the friendship that is formed for the fact that we have done this for creative reasons and creative reasons only. And it's been pretty extraordinary, Allie. It really has.
Allie, you have worked your ass off.
Ass off.
Ass off.
And by the way, in the middle of all this, had a baby, got married, had a baby.
Yeah.
It's like what they say about Ginger Rogers. She had to do everything Fred did, but backwards and in high heels. That is literally you, Allie.
Thank you so much for saying that. And I'm like all blushing. And
yep.
Don't look at me now.
Good.
We love you.
Mission accomplished. I've done my job. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Brandon. Oh, Brandon Crum, who is a producer on the movie and also helped to do the some of the moving animatics in the movie that look fantastic. So Brandon was a contributor to that. Amazing.
And is in
I have a student waiting. I love you all.
All right.
So nice.
Bye. Love you.
Eric. And Mike. I haven't seen you in a long time. I love you.
Bye.
Love
Bye,
you.
Allie.
Bye, baby.
Personally, I would have held out for the money, but whatever.
This film really was. It takes a village.
What Michael?
If I were her, I would have just held out for the money. But whatever. If you're gonna
you'd be holding on for a while.
Yeah, we know.
Well, we know that there's a huge pile of cash right to your right or left that we're not seeing back there.
Yeah,
I know it. It's just
right next to the cocaine.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. The Scarface size pile.
You guys take turns Scrooge McDucking it into the big pile of money every night. Yeah, that's the one myth I definitely want to dispel to anyone out there that thinks doing DVD extras and documentaries about horror movies is a surefire way to mountains of cash. Let me tell you something. No, it's no. There's no. I live in Southfield, Michigan. I ain't rolling in it, motherfuckers. I am not. I've been doing this for 20 years. And I'm just now at a point where I can kind of not worry about what's coming in this month. So you'd either do it for the love or I've been a real fucking idiot for a long time. Well, actually, I could be both, but Yeah.
True that. By the way, I wanted to get to the next series of updates and things to get you guys all up to speed. So we are going to be world premiering the movie in March in Glasgow.
That's right.
Now we are going to be the American premiere is going to be a Texas Frightmare. I've been given the right to say that. I wasn't supposed to say it earlier. I did, but they're very sweet about it. So we are going to be doing a screening of Jason Goes to Hell and the doc back to back. So that's really exciting. And then on June 13th in Los Angeles, there is going to be a special screening of Jason Goes to Hell and the doc back to back.
Where's that going to be?
So I'm working out with the theater right now. I'm not allowed to say just yet, but that is happening. I just can't announce the theater yet. But that is happening. There are about 7 other screenings that I've been asked to do, but we're not going to make the announcements until those contracts have been signed. And then I will literally give those announcements as they come in one at a time. But folks, we've got 3 major festivals that want the movie that we are negotiating with to get that out there. The movie is going to really be seen on screens. You guys, hopefully everybody's going to have something happen close to where they live. Mm-hmm. I am planning on spending the rest of the year every weekend. By the way, Deb and I are flying to Glasgow on a Thursday, coming home on a Sunday. Boy. It's a 14-hour flight. Kill me now. But that's my commitment. Yeah, that's my commitment to this movie, guys. That's literally what we're doing. So I'm planning to make it to every one of these screenings so that I can be there with the fans, so that I can be there to hang out with you guys and talk with them.
I think I'll be there at Texas Frightmare weekend with you.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you will be. Yeah. You will be. Damn right you're going to be with me. And I'm hoping we can drag Eric's ass out for that too, because I think
I will too.
I love it. We have a ton of people that are all going to meet us out there. Actually, Texas should be kind of a great show. Huge. So, yeah. And Frightmare's amazing. Oh, yeah. So, like, the show's incredible. Yeah. So, like, everything about it is a bonus. And we will be there for the entire weekend on Frightmare. So, Thursday through that Monday, we're going to be
Heart to Darkness table would be massive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck you.
We got to get the poster. We got to get some posters made up and stuff.
Massive.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. I'm way ahead of you guys on that one. So, all of that will be happening. So I want to give everybody that update. The other thing is, so we can't say the particulars of the Blu-ray, but I'm going to hand it over to Michael just to kind of talk about the Blu-ray a little bit, because he is going to be handling a lot of the artistic direction on the Blu-ray. So Michael, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, as Adam said, the deal's not signed yet, but it has been agreed to in principle. Don't really want to reveal who it's going to be or what that situation is, but the Blu-ray, unless something horrible happens, which I doubt very seriously will have a home, a distributor that Adam and I both trust very, very much. And actually, it's a couple different distributors that are kind of linked together. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
And the plan is the good thing is because of all the industrious work that Eric has done and so many other people, not only is the documentary done, all the extras are done. They're ready. They're and it's like almost 2 hours worth of of extras.
yeah.
For this.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this Blu-ray is going to be loaded, absolutely loaded. We've got really good key art for it now, so we've got that ready to go. So, barring any unforeseen problems, which at this point I really can't imagine what they would be, you can look for this documentary to be available in your hands as a Blu-ray, probably sometime around Halloween of this year.
There we go.
So,
yep,
and there'll be much more concrete information in the next couple of months. We want to certainly get the word out about the screenings first, and then once we start seeing the sure to be glowing reviews coming in, because I have a feeling people are really going to enjoy this thing, you'll see much more information about the Blu-ray release. And then of course this will be and just to make sure everyone understands, the Blu-ray that will be coming out will be the one that the Indiegogo people, the people who signed on for this thing 52 years ago, will get in the mail. So you will get the same thing that everybody else gets. You're not getting some stripped down, special little, a DVD with the word documentary written on it. Thanks. You're going to get the full McGillicuddy. So,
and by the way, to that end, they are also going to be getting it at a bargain price.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that people don't realize. Like the price we charged for the Blu-ray originally was when we were going to self-publish this movie.
Mm-hmm.
We are not doing that. You guys are getting like a really professionally done, beautiful piece of physical media. And you are getting it for way, way less than what everybody else is going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll be getting one too, because I signed on for this shit back then. Which is kind of ridiculous. Which is absolutely ridiculous now that I think about it. But
by the way, Michael, I think you were our the third person to contribute to the campaign.
Was I really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I went back and looked. I was like, holy shit, he jumped right in. Like right in. Yeah, you did. You did.
Wow, that's I was glad I'm glad I was there to help. And like I said, I just came across the poster the other day. I was putting a poster away and I was like, oh, that's right. I also have a hat too, a Hearts of Darkness hat.
Yeah. We sent you all that shit, from our house with all the shit in it. Yes.
Yeah. And I remember the time going, well, this documentary's never going to come out.
That's a good question. Michael?
Yes.
Comment.
Are digital copies still going to be released, or will this be like a code you get in Blu-ray? As far as the digital future of this movie is concerned, that is something Adam is still working on. So that will be
right.
There will
we're dealing on the streaming right now, guys. So you will be getting information about that as well. But the streaming deal is not. I can't speak about it yet. I'm not allowed.
And don't look for the streaming to be available right away.
Right.
We're really going to be. We really want people to see this in the theaters, and then the Blu-ray is going to, kind of carry this movie's lunch.
Putting
for
it
a while.
directly on streaming kind of then doesn't make people go get the Blu-ray.
Right.
Well, and by the way, here's the thing. On streaming, there will never be the additional 2 hours of stuff.
Exactly.
Like, we're not going to be giving people the same
You
content
won't get
on
to
streaming.
see me troll Sean Cunningham.
Yes, that's true. That is very true. That is true. Because TJ is the one who trolled it.
Yes.
Also very important, you won't get one of the best extras, which is literally never before seen footage of creatures and effects that were cut from the final film. The only place to see that is in the DVD extras.
Yeah. There was a whole bunch of stuff that didn't make it into the final cut.
Yeah.
That oddly enough, we're in again. It's so weird. I was just talking about this with someone the other day. So many times, especially from horror movies in the 80s and 90s, the publicity departments for the studios would just look through photos and say, oh, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. And then it turns out 2 of the photos that they selected are from scenes that didn't make it into the final cut of the movie.
Yeah, and that's in the back of the VHS.
One of the most notorious of which was Pinhead from Hellbound Hellraiser 2 in Doctor Scrubs.
Yes.
From the scene that was cut way early on because it didn't work. And so for years, the director that's had to answer questions about this supposed missing brilliant scene. And it's like, no, we cut it. It sucked. Someone at New World, it wasn't any fucking good, and that's why we cut it. But some asshole at New World went neat, and then next thing you know, and then there's a couple like that for Jason Goes to Hell, which show the totally different monsters coming out to grab Jason.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they're referenced in the poster that we did for Hearts of Darkness.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Yeah. I thought that was a deliberate choice. I said, put something in there that they're not going to get. Only the diehard fans are going to really get. I really
And by
wanted
the way,
to add,
like,
this was one thing I seriously considered putting in the poster, but I didn't do it because I thought now in the background on the director's chair, I wanted to put a little girl in a little pink dress with a donut and a hot. That's like, no, see, unfortunately, outside of the knowledge of the movie, people are going to be like, what in the fuck is that weird shit?
Do you know what's funny, though? That is actually so well known.
It has become.
It is the thing that like people yell at Stephen Williams no matter what convention he's at, non-Friday the 13th related. He'll be at a 21 Jump Street thing and people are asking about little girls sticking hot dogs through donuts.
But you know the weird thing about that is, and this comes up in the documentary as well. You know what makes that scene funny? It's Stephen Culp doing this. Just blinking once.
No sells it the whole
like
thing.
He's like, the fuck did you just say?
And by the way, that was it. He asked for that as a second take.
Yeah.
He didn't do it originally, and when he heard it the second time, he's like,
I gotta
can I
react
have
to
a take on that close up? I just want to do a blink that I think is going to be really good.
Because I love it.
Like
He's a professional news. He's a professional news guy, but that's the one little bit of what the fuck has to leak out in his face of what the hell did this guy just say to me? And that's what sells it. It's so fucking funny.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Guys, you're all going to be, look, the thing that I want to make really specific about streaming in particular, streaming, while it's incredibly convenient, and I totally understand why people love it, it is the thing that's actually murdering the film industry. It is killing our industry. Okay. So yes, I know you want streaming. That's great. And we're going to make sure this movie is streamed and eventually it'll be free on Tubi and it'll be free all over the place. That's going to happen. So great. And everybody who got a digital copy will get a digital copy. That's going to happen. Here's the thing. The minute that digital copy comes out of the gate, the minute that horse is let out of the barn, that's it. That's it. The movie's over.
Game over, man. Game over.
Right. There's no one is going to contribute to this film being an actual movie anymore. It'll just be content. And we're not gonna, that's not what we're about at Skeleton Crew. I've never been about that. Yes, we will always be with the times as far as the technology and what people expect and how they want to view things. That's great. But this movie is going to be treated with some kid gloves, and it's going to be treated as though it is as special as is every one of you that contributed to this thing. So we are treating this thing with a professional amount of respect. And I hope that everybody understands that.
And that includes striking a nitrate print.
Special screenings.
That was a deep dive for the film students.
Wow.
We're actually doing an IMAX up convert for this. Actually,
I see some questions about the Aero 4K in the chat there. If you guys want to talk about that,
what are people asking?
What's on it? When's it coming?
If you could talk about it at all, Michael.
Sure.
The only thing I can tell you is that we did. There's 3 new. I don't want to spoil what's coming on. There's a new commentary by a couple of film historians on it. I won't tell you who they are, but they're good guys. And then there's what else was there? There's a 3 interview featurettes with some people from the film that Adam knows about. And then obviously the new 4K of the movie. All the extras from the Screen Factory release will be present on this as well, I understand. And they'll have the R-rated and the unrated versions. Why anyone would give a flying fuck about the R-rated version?
I don't understand even why it's on the disc. I don't even get it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wish I had been involved with the documentary back when you were interviewing people, because I remember so vividly seeing the movie in the theaters and the tent sequence just ends. And I remember in the theater going, I have a feeling they cut something here, because it was just like they're having sex and all of a sudden, and then that's him just walking away from the tent. I'm like, well, okay.
It's
and
funny.
Then I read to the tape and I'm like, I wonder how much they oh my dear God.
I had a similar experience when I watched the box set for the first time, and I realized that they didn't send the right version of the movies the first time.
Jesus.
I was watching it, and I had that Leonardo DiCaprio moment where I whistled at the screen and pointed
at
the arm snap. I was like, "Hey, that's wrong!" And I was
no, the R-rated version was like that was just some shit for the blockbuster fuckers, and I don't care about but that I think will be present on there as well.
Yeah,
and then Adam, didn't you color time the?
I did. I color timed the movie. Well, what happened was they Arrow, who were really wonderful. I got to be honest. They were terrific. They asked me to come in and to color time the movie with them and to clean it up and give it the best look it could have. But my response to that was, I'm happy to do it. I would love to. And yes, I'm happy to oversee. I said, but honestly, I said, the cinematographer of this movie is alive and available. Mm-hmm. I think the person who shot the movie should have something to do with the way the movie looks. So they were thrilled if he wanted to come in. So I called Bill Dill, and Bill Dill came in, and the two of us, and Deborah as well. Deborah was there the whole time. We color timed the movie. It has never looked as good as it looks now.
This is the most authentic version of the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
It is the definitive version of this film. It's not the definitive cut of the movie. No. It's the definitive look of the movie.
Okay, there we go.
The sound is extraordinary, but guys, I'm telling you. By the way, most people don't know this. It was the first movie. It was the very first movie ever shot in. It was Dolby. It was Dolby's new process. Remember the thing with the train, guys? I can't remember. What was it?
Oh yeah.
It was the very first movie ever shot that way and recorded in that sound. So the movie did have some technological breakthroughs when we made the film. Also, the fact that the whole fucking movie was shot in 22 frames per second. That is covered. That is covered. But guys, Bill Dill came in and actually oversaw the look of the movie with me, which was really awesome. Like that was very freaking cool. And that's never happened. Like they've never brought Bill in, and I've never understood why. Like he's a genius. Please, let's bring him in the room.
And I've seen it. I got to.
You did get to see it.
Yeah, I got to see it. And every now and then you're just like, well, you see new transfers and the cinematographer will come in and just go, oh yeah, that's good enough. Or it always looked pretty good. And Jason Goes to Hell has always looked good as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, it's a pretty.
But watching this new version, it's like, oh, those are some deep blacks, and there's much more color in this than I ever thought there was before. And it reminded me, it's like Bill Dill did a really good job.
Oh yeah.
He filmed this thing like it was a classic haunted house movie at times. And the movie just sings visually now so much.
Adam, it's got to be particularly gratifying for you to really see the crispest, cleanest version of your brother getting murdered.
Yes. Dude, I have it on a loop in the house. You know that. Every time you come over, Chip's getting killed. And the other thing is, and I can only tease it slightly because I don't know yet whether they're really using it or not, but I gave the folks at Arrow some very special archival stuff that has not yet been seen.
There we go.
So they were working out the details on whether they can use it and whatnot. I think they're going to, but there is a very special thing on that disc that's coming. So,
is this
I don't want to give the announcement away.
Well, no, is this the deleted sex scene with your deputy character that's supposed to be?
Full angry pickle, folks. That's what we're talking about.
Officer Bish, man.
Angry gherkin.
Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, my best friend. There he is. There he is.
Angry gherkin.
Deep Bish Pizza is my porn name.
Deep Bish.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God. We're devolving.
Fuck yeah, we're devolving. The stream had to go blue at some point.
Well, this is the story of how Creighton Duke really got out of that cell.
By the way, something that's not in the doc, but something that is really funny. There, Sean Cunningham almost killed me for this, but on the day that we shot, the morning that we shot, John LeMay and Carrie Keegan walking into the sunrise. There was a moment I had the costumer bring my costume to set because my character, Officer Bish, is literally the only person in law enforcement in the entire town who survives Jason Goes to Hell.
I'm the only one, yeah.
Because I ran away. Because
I ran away. You're the one smart law enforcement guy in the movie. He's like, holy shit, boom, gone.
Yep. And so I put the costume on without Sean knowing I was doing it. And when I yelled action for Carrie and John, there's one take that I'm running past them out of town screaming. Yeah. Sean was not happy. He was not happy. He's like, God damn it, you're wasting my money. I'm like,
oh, that's hilarious.
You gotta
That's
find that footage. It's gotta
yeah.
be
it's amazing. It's amazing. So it's by the way, the other thing, and there are photographs online of Kane Hodder in the full Jason makeup holding a Hustler magazine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The reason for that is that Sean was bitching that I put too much male nudity in the movie and he wanted more tits, quote unquote, more tits.
There you go.
And so what I did was I had Kane when he was in full Jason regalia. I gave him that Hustler and had him open it to the centerfold on 35 millimeter while they shot footage of Jason Voorhees holding a Hustler so that Sean would have more tits in the movie.
That's wonderful.
Well, you were just giving the man what he asked for. I mean, you know.
Sean was not happy with me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You gave him
yes,
exactly
it is a
what he
classic
asked
photo
for.
with Kane. It's fucking hilarious.
Is he on the porch swing for that one?
No. But that, by the way, you know that porch swing is actually, I had them put that in there. That's a tribute to the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
That's the first tribute to the Evil Dead in that movie. And I had the porch swing knocking against the, and then it stops abruptly. And I did that specifically to announce to the audience, hey, by the way, this movie is connected to Evil Dead. That's what I'm doing. So
really, it's almost like you're a horror geek and you put a lot of references to other horror movies in that movie. I didn't really catch any of that.
Shared universes.
No, I didn't catch any of that. You thought that. Interesting.
I'm a scamp. So guys, want to make sure that we covered everything. We covered the Blu-ray.
The only thing we haven't mentioned yet is that the campaign is effectively closed down unless Adam.
Yes. If you want t-shirts, posters, Creighton Duke pins, we got a few of those left. Hats, any of like the fun swag, go grab it. If you want to get an autographed picture of myself, there's stuff that's still live. So anybody wants to still contribute, please feel free. We can always use the funds to continue pushing the movie forward. So that's always great. But when it comes to the Blu-ray, the VHS, all of that stuff is closed now because, again, everybody who bought this through the campaign is getting it for pennies comparatively. You are. So everybody should be pretty psyched, man. You all save money by jumping in early.
And do the people who were in the first 5 contributors get anything super special, or
you get to work on the film?
You get to direct the movie.
And our undying love.
Surprise!
Right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I'll send you an autograph, Michael.
There you go.
Oh, hey, wait. One other thing that I do want to say. So, because we have an audience here, and I think it's an audience that should know this. So, Eric Bietner, alongside being a remarkable 8-time nominated, Emmy-nominated editor of things like The Amazing Race and Fear Factor and a shit ton of other stuff, Eric is also a remarkable novelist. Like, guys, I'm telling you, he is a fucking great wordsmith. And his genre is noir, is crime novels.
Excellent.
And he is really, I'm telling you, if you've not read Eric Bietner, you need to. I try to always post when he's got a new book coming out and all that. Well, here's the thing. He has a new book coming out. By the way, just so everybody understands, the books behind Eric, he wrote all of those. Those are all his. Literally, I'm not kidding around. He's almost written that many books.
I see your stuff's on Amazon.
It is.
Yeah. All of his stuff is on Amazon.
Yep.
Hell yeah. And his latest book is so remarkable. The sequel to it is coming out on Tuesday. Am I right, Eric?
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Please tell everybody the name of the original book and the name of the sequel, please.
The first in that series is called The Last Few Miles of Road, and the sequel is called Real Bad, Real Soon.
And guys, I am telling you, The Last Few Miles of Road, the number of people that I love who have read the book and flipped the fuck out over it, you can't imagine. Like, it's such an incredible book. the sequel, like we've all any one of us who's read it have been waiting for this sequel. So it's really exciting, and all of you, please. By the way, if you don't want to buy like a full book, and you're a Kindle person, or you're somebody who likes listening to audiobooks, a ton of Eric's stuff is there, and there's always deals on some of his books.
Oh, yeah.
Jump into something just to take a look. Like buy one of the books that's like $1.99, and you just get on your Kindle and read the thing. I'm telling you, you'll become a lifelong fan. You just will.
And this new one's a trilogy, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah. So this is the second of 3, and then the third one will be out next year.
And
Thank
the
you
third
so much,
one,
Adam.
the third one has Ewoks. So I'm not gonna.
Links to
push
these
that one
books
yet.
are in
Yeah,
the chat.
but it also has them
Thank you,
frozen in
TJ.
carbonate.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What?
I was just thanking TJ for putting the links, and thank you for mentioning it. I appreciate that.
Of course, dude. We're again, folks. As Michael stated earlier, anybody who gets into this part of the business to make money, you're really. Yeah,
I mean, we're not bitter about it or anything.
No. But here's the thing. All of us who stay in this business, because most of the people I started with walked out. They're gone.
Yeah.
The people who stay in it, they stay for the love of what they do. And the people who are in it for the long haul are incredibly creative people. And a lot of us are hyphenates. So there's a lot of people who write and edit, or write and direct, or write and produce, and all of these things, or do art. The number of painters that I know that are in our business. Here's the thing: you can support all those facets. So if there's an artist you really dig, you dig what they do, check out the other thing they do. Like expose yourself to that. You might actually find that, like, wow, I didn't know that guy was that good a writer. That's fucking cool. And suddenly you got a whole new world opened up to you. Also, look, I know that a lot of my fandom talks about novelizations and things, talks about books a lot. So any chance I can to get people reading more, reading books again, that makes the world simply a better place. So Eric's books are part of that. So please check him out. He's amazing.
And Michael, you're selling your knitting on Etsy, right?
Right, on Etsy.
Yeah.
Michael's whole
I'm currently out of stock at the moment on most of my stuff. I'm currently knitting a cock sock that I'm hoping to have up there, but there's some, I don't know, some family-friendly guideline shit that I'm coming up against. It's really be something of a problem. But no, there's a whole line of things. I just got back into crocheting for the first time since I was like in my teens. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And cross point. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, your line of macrame merkins are some of my favorites.
It's something that I try to fit in when I can.
Macrame, that was one of my bands in college.
It was.
No, I want to say this though, because I have a small indie project like this where you're working with people that I've known Adam for my whole life. I just met Michael. This is my first time meeting TJ. You are in the film, just to allay any fear. I mean, you know that, right? But it's really fun to be so much more invested in this, because I've cut a lot of DVD content on, not to put anything down on Jason Goes to Hell, but I've cut some stuff on some larger budget films, like, I don't know, the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, things like that. And those end up being jobs. You come in, you do the thing, you get a couple of notes from Jerry Bruckheimer, and then you go away. But this is something that, as long and drawn out as this process has been, it hasn't been painful, because you're still involved with people that you like collaborating with and working with, and you're all moving towards the same goalpost. And it's great to have people that are all equally invested in a project like this. It's unique in this industry, and you think sometimes that the big, high-profile $150 million feature is going to be the thing that you're going to remember 10 years from now, and it turns out it's not.
Yeah. No, I would like to just second what Eric just said, because it's true. It's all about the people you get to work with at the end of the day. We joke about haven't made much money. Money is transitory, comes and goes. Can't take it with you anyway. But the people that I've gotten to meet and work with, some of whom have become really dear friends, I mean, practically family to me. Those are the things that you take with you. Those are the things that will be with you your entire life, and those are the real rewards. For me, the process of this documentary has been great, but getting to meet Adam and Deborah and Allie and Eric and see what they would bring to the project and this creativity and this, being right with his notes and shit. I may have given him some crap over it, but you know how refreshing it is to get notes and contributions and ideas that make you go, oh, that's a good idea. Hey, that gives me an idea.
Right.
That doesn't happen all the time. And when it comes to, the reason that we do this is for the love of the projects and the people and documenting a creative process, which is something I think is extremely important to get across to people, because that can inspire somebody else to think outside the box. That's the reason that we do this. The other reason that I do this, and I think you would all agree, is that I am stunningly unqualified to do anything else.
I rediscover that daily. Yes.
If I were to be suddenly thrown back into the regular workforce, I would just jump out in front of a bus, because there'd be nothing for me out there. I would not contribute in one way to society that would be helpful. And so it's either this or literally nothing. So,
and I'll say that one time where I actually got notes from Steven Spielberg, it felt kind of cool for that afternoon, but I couldn't just get on the phone and call him up and say, what do you mean? Or say, I'm not so sure about this. What do you think? I can do that with Adam. It's
right.
That's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. Well, that would have been great if you had done that. Yo, Steve, the fuck?
What do you mean by this?
Where do you get the idea? Why would you think that was work? What have you done?
Yeah. Jaws duel. That's a long time ago, brother.
Yeah. Hey, I saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, bitch. Click.
Okay, we're so not going to denigrate to shitting on Steven Spielberg. This is like my hero.
Oh no, I've blown my chance to become a member of Amblin. Ooh. Oh man.
Oh Lord. All right, maniacs. So look, in wrapping this thing up, I do want to say once again to every person who is watching this live stream, because if you're watching this live stream, chances are you were a contributor to this campaign. You are all of you, producers on this movie. You put $10 in. You are part of what produced this film, what made this film happen. Okay. We are a family and a team. I have gotten to know so many of the contributors to this campaign. Like, I really know a lot of you personally at this point. I love you for every single moment that you've supported this thing. Let's keep moving forward together as a team. Anytime we're putting something out there, share it, let people know about it. Let's get people into the theater to see it. I want you guys to see this movie on a big screen. You deserve to see what you contributed to in the way that we made it. We made it for a big screen. We did not make it for your television. And then you guys are going to get a freaking awesome Blu-ray, and you're going to have this thing forever, and your name is on it. Like, all of you that contributed, your names are on this thing.
Yes, the end credits are longer than Avengers Endgame.
It's insane.
Credits.
It is insane. We have it's funny. One of my childhood memories is of the movie Life Force.
The credits go classic. On forever on that one.
I remember being shocked at the carpentry credits, the number of carpenters on the movie. This movie's thank you section is bigger than the Carpenter section on Life Force. Yeah. That is really saying something, guys. Yeah. So look, to everybody who contributed to this film, to the artists who helped make the movie, to the people who helped fund the movie, all of you, we could not be more proud of what you let us do, and we could not be more proud of what we're going to be handing you. This team has worked their asses off for little to no money, and we did it because we love you guys, and because we love what we're working on, and because we love each other. So while that's all very kumbaya, and I get it, and I'm sure there are people rolling their eyes, don't care. I'm a sentimental son of a bitch, and I'm always going to be that guy, but I am sentimental about you guys too. So I just want everybody to know how important you are to myself, to Deborah, to Allie, to our whole team. Brian as well, who couldn't be here today. We are so proud of the people we're working with, and we are so proud of the movie we're about to show you guys. So I hope everybody loved the trailer. The trailer will be up all over the internet soon, so you all be able to get to see it as many times as you want. And it will be embedded in this podcast for the moment. So anybody who wants to come back and look at it now, please do. TJ, once again, thank you not only for hosting today, but for being the driving force behind how this movie actually started.
My pleasure, brother.
Again, you're the one to blame for all this.
You really are. You really are. We know where you live.
Yes.
So folks, I want to thank Michael, of course. I want to thank Eric for being here. I'm so glad, Eric, that you could come and be here with us.
Yes, I'm glad too. Because Eric, you are a huge reason why this thing works so damn well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. And if I was not currently unemployed, I wouldn't have been here, but I had free time, so.
The love, feeling the love.
So Eric Bietner. So
and also, I want to make it very clear to everyone else here, I'll probably be doing a couple of solo interviews about this from time to time. And I'm not going to, just, I won't be mentioning any of you people at all.
No.
I'm going to be taking all the credit wherever I can. So if you see some of those, I'm just kidding. It's
no, that tracks.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Lehman had a comment here that I absolutely agree with. I just had a Ferris Bueller moment. He heard it in Cameron's voice. Adam Marcus, you're my hero.
Oh, Kevin.
I cannot tell you, people. I want to go to some of these conventions and just sit behind you. And when people come up and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Adam Marcus. Can I get your autograph?" And I'm like, "You don't know what I know. You weren't at some of the same parties."
With that being said, if you like this stream and you like this podcast and want to listen to other ones just like this one, head on over to www.projectlouder.net or anywhere else you listen to audio-only podcasts such as Google, iTunes, Apple, whatever. I'm TJ Bowser. That's Michael Felsher. That's Adam Marcus. That's Deborah Sullivan. And that's Eric Bietner. Thank you for joining us on an absolutely wonderful stream.